Welcome. I'm Dr. Gretchen Bleicher, and I'm honored to begin this journey with you. In my years of clinical practice, research, teaching, I've witnessed something profound. When we bring compassion, curiosity, and embodied awareness to our inner lives, our bodies, our energy, and our minds, we create the conditions for deep healing and authentic sexual well-being. This podcast, The Sacred Garden Mandala, is an invitation to cultivate your inner landscape with care, an invitation to explore sexuality as a source of vitality, meaning, and connection, and an invitation to walk this path together, whether you're seeking healing, awakening, renewed intimacy, or a more grounded relationship with yourself. Thank you for being here. Let's begin. The Yoga of Sex, a Mystery, an evidence-based Sacred Garden Mandala mini-series. Welcome to the Sacred Garden Mandala podcast. Take a slow breath in and a gentle breath out. What if sexual wellness education could be more than information? What if it could become a pathway for healing, self-awareness, embodiment, compassion, relational wisdom, and awakening? I'm Dr. Gretchen Bleicher, and this mini-series is adapted from my doctoral dissertation, The Yoga of Sex, a Mystery, a mindfulness-based, yoga-centered sexual wellness curriculum created to support young adults in exploring sexuality as part of whole person well-being. In this mini-series, we will journey through the research, reflection, embodiment, and contemplative practices. Together, we will explore comprehensive, holistic sex education, sexual and relational health, identity, intimacy, consent, communication, trauma-informed healing, mindfulness, yoga, sexual media socialization, and the deeper questions of meaning and human flourishing. The goals are simple: to translate scholarly research into a living curriculum, to bring evidence and wisdom together, to help listeners move from information to transformation. Each module includes 3 parts: a research foundation, a connection to the AMystery Curriculum, and a reflective practice that invites learning to become embodied and alive. This mini-series is intended for young adults, educators, clinicians, parents, sexuality professionals, yoga practitioners, mindfulness practitioners, and anyone interested in cultivating a more compassionate and conscious relationship with sexuality. Whether you are beginning a journey of self-discovery, seeking healing, expanding your professional understanding, or exploring sexuality as part of your spiritual development, you are warmly welcomed here. The Sacred Garden Mandala is not merely a place of learning, it's a place of inquiry, a place of remembering, a place where wisdom, compassion, body, heart, mind, and relationship can meet. Thank you for joining me. Let us begin. May this journey support healing. May it support awakening. May it support the flowering of compassionate sexual wellness within ourselves, our relationships, and our culture. Welcome to the Sacred Garden Mandala podcast. This mini-series is an offering from my dissertation project, The Yoga of Sex, a Mystery, a mindfulness-based yoga-centered sexual wellness curriculum created for young adults. In this series, I will share the depth of information sourced from peer-reviewed literature and translate it into an organized, evidence-based, and compassionate framework for holistic sexual wellness education. My intention is to make the scholarship accessible, meaningful, and alive. So research becomes not only information, but also a pathway for awareness, healing, connection, and well-being. Sexual wellness is an important and integrative dimension of overall health, identity, emotional well-being, relational capacity, and human flourishing. Sexuality is not separate from the body, mind, heart, culture, or spirit. It is shaped by personal experience, relational dynamics, sociocultural systems, media messages, trauma histories, spiritual meaning, and embodied awareness. The AMystery program was created to respond to the need for comprehensive, holistic sexual wellness education that supports young adults in learning about themselves, the systems they live within, and the practices that can help them awaken authentic self-connection. This curriculum integrates research on sexual and relational health, sexual media socialization, trauma-informed healing, embodiment, yoga, mindfulness, neuroscience of consciousness, and contemplative wisdom traditions. This work is grounded in the view that sexual wellness education needs to do more than deliver information. It needs to cultivate self-awareness, compassion, communication skills, consent awareness, emotional and sexual empathy, relational responsibility, and the capacity to make choices that support one's own well-being and the well-being of others. Young adulthood is a sacred developmental threshold. It is a time when many people deepen their exploration of identity, intimacy, love, sexuality, independence, relational ethics, and spiritual meaning. It is also a time when many people are navigating the complex influences of digital culture, pornography as informal sex education, objectification, gendered scripts, sexual violence, trauma, and disconnection from the body. In response, AMystery offers an experiential and personalized framework for holistic sexual development in the context of body, energy, and mind. Through audio, video, text, self-inquiry, community engagement, and contemplative practices, the program invites young adults into a self-paced process of learning, healing, reflection, and integration. This series is not intended to replace therapy, medical care, or individualized support. Rather, it offers an educational, reflective, and contemplative pathway for understanding sexual wellness as part of whole person well-being. May this mini-series support listeners in connecting with wise and compassionate hearts and minds, awakening embodied awareness, and contributing to a more loving, respectful, and just culture. Module 1. Why Sexual Wellness Education Matters Now. Welcome to the Sacred Garden Mandala podcast. I invite you to arrive here with a breath. Allow your body to soften. Let your awareness gently come home to this moment. Feel the ground beneath you, the rhythm of your breathing, and the quiet presence of your own inner life. This is a space for learning, reflection, compassion, healing, and awakening. This module begins a mini-series adapted from my dissertation project, The Yoga of Sex, a Mystery. This project brings together comprehensive holistic sex education, sexual and relational health, trauma-informed embodiment, yoga, mindfulness, contemplative wisdom, the neuroscience of consciousness, and the sacred dimensions of human flourishing. My intention in this series is to share the depth of information I sourced from peer-reviewed literature and translate that scholarship into clear, organized, evidence-based framework for sexual wellness education. I want this work to remain intellectually grounded, but also deeply human, accessible, and alive. This series is for young adults, educators, clinicians, sexuality professionals, yoga and mindfulness practitioners, parents, seekers, and anyone who feels called to understand sexuality as a part of whole person well-being. It is also for those who sense that sexual wellness education must become more than information alone. It must also become a pathway of awareness, compassion, embodiment, responsibility, and liberation. Content and listener care note. Before we continue, I want to name with care that this series will touch on sensitive topics. These may include sexual trauma, sexual violence, objectification, pornography, digital sexual harm, consent, relational pain, recovery, shame, and disconnection from the body. I invite you to listen with kindness towards your own nervous system. You are welcome to pause, breathe, step away, return later, or seek support whenever needed. You do not need to push through anything. You do not need to listen in a way that overwhelms you. This mini-series is educational and reflective. It's not intended to replace therapy, medical care, crisis support, or individualized guidance. If something arises in you while listening, please honor your own pacing and reach towards trusted support. The spirit of this work is trauma-informed, non-shaming, and compassionate. We are here to learn, not to judge. We are here to look honestly at the conditions shaping sexual development and relational well-being, while also holding the possibility of healing, reconnection, and cultural transformation. Research foundation. Sexual wellness is not isolated from the rest of life. It's woven into our bodies, emotions, relationships, identities, histories, beliefs, cultures, and spiritual longings. It is connected to how we experience safety, pleasure, boundaries, communication, belonging, agency, dignity, and meaning. A central foundation of this dissertation is the understanding that sexual health is not merely the absence of disease, dysfunction, or harm. Sexual health is multidimensional. It includes physical, emotional, mental, social, relational, and ethical dimensions. It also requires a positive and respectful approach to sexuality and sexual relationships, including the possibility of pleasurable and safe experiences free from coercion, discrimination, and violence. Comprehensive sex education builds from this wider view. It recognizes that information alone is not enough. Young people and young adults need opportunities to explore values, develop communication skills, practice consent awareness, and build relational responsibility, understand their bodies, cultivate empathy, and reflect on the cultural forces that shape their experiences. Young adulthood is a particularly important developmental threshold. It is a time when many people deepen their exploration of identity, intimacy, independence, self-worth, sexuality, relational ethics, and meaning. It is also a time when many are navigating digital culture, social media, pornography as informal sex education, gendered scripts, objectification, sexual violence, trauma histories, and pressures that can disconnect them from their own bodies and inner knowing. Many people come of age without comprehensive, accurate, compassionate, and holistic sexual wellness education. Some receive fragmented information. Some receive silence. Some receive shame. Some receive fear-based messages. Increasingly, many also receive their most vivid sexual scripts from digital media and online sexual environments. This creates a profound educational and cultural need. Young adults deserve resources that help them understand sexuality as multidimensional. They deserve education that addresses physical health, emotional health, consent, communication, pleasure, empathy, trauma, healing, media literacy, relational responsibility, self-awareness, embodiment, spirituality, and cultural transformation. AMystery Curriculum Connection. The AMystery program was created as a response to this need. It is a mindfulness-based, yoga-centered sexual wellness curriculum designed to support young adults in exploring themselves and the systems they live in. AMystery is grounded in comprehensive, holistic sex education, while also expanding into contemplative embodiment, yoga, mindfulness, trauma-informed healing, and the sacred dimensions of human development. It asks, what would sexual wellness education look like if it supported the whole person, body, energy, mind, emotion, relationship, culture, and spirit? This curriculum invites young adults into a process of awareness, inquiry, embodiment, healing, and transformation. It offers education through audio, video, text, self-inquiry, reflective practice, community engagement, and contemplative methods. The purpose is not simply to deliver information, but to cultivate self-awareness, compassion, personal well-being, relational skill, sexual intelligence, emotional empathy, sexual empathy, and embodied connection. In AMystery, sexuality is understood as part of the larger mandala of human flourishing. The program explores the mindful model of sexual health, the 5-element mandala journey, sexual and relational enlightenment, healing from sexual trauma, the path of sexual recovery, connection management in relationships, awakening loving union, and compassion-based resilience. This first module serves as the doorway. It introduces the central questions of the miniseries. How can sexual wellness education become a pathway for awakening? How can research become a living curriculum? How can young adults be supported not only to avoid harm, but to cultivate wisdom, compassion, pleasure, respect, dignity, relational well-being, and embodied self-connection? Guided reflection. Let us pause here for a simple reflection. If it feels comfortable, place one hand over your heart or simply bring awareness to the center of your chest. You may close your eyes, soften your gaze, or simply listen. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Ask inwardly, what would it mean for my sexuality to be held with wisdom, compassion, respect, and care? What kind of education would have supported me? What kind of education might support the next generation? What messages about sexuality did I inherit from family, culture, media, religion, school, peers, or silence? Which of those messages support my well-being? Which of those messages might I be ready to question, release, or transform? There is no need to answer quickly. Let these questions move gently through the body and mind. Let them become part of the mandala of inquiry. You might simply notice, what happens in my breath? What happens in my heart? What happens in my body when I imagine sexual wellness education as compassionate, embodied, evidence-based, and sacred? And take one more breath and allow yourself to arrive exactly as you are. As we move through this mini-series, we may remember that sexual wellness education is not only about preventing harm, it is also about nurturing life. It is about embodiment, connection, dignity, communication, pleasure, justice, healing, responsibility, and love. It is about helping people come home to themselves and relate to others with greater awareness and care. It is about transforming shame into understanding, disconnection into embodiment, silence into skillful communication, and fragmentation into wholeness. Thank you for beginning this journey with me. In the next module, we will explore the foundation of comprehensive holistic sex education. We will look more closely at what it means for sexual wellness education to be evidence-based, multidimensional, rights-informed, relational, embodied, and responsive to the real lives of young adults. May this offering support healing. May it support awakening. May it support the flowering of compassionate wellness within ourselves, within our relationships, and within our culture. And if you'd like to explore this sacred garden mandala practice visually or experientially, I've created a guided video called Personal Sacred Mandala Garden for Sexual Wellbeing. And I know I've shared a lot of information in this episode here. So if you'd like to go to my website, this is freely available, this video, and it includes a gentle mapping practice that integrates the sacred garden mandala, the 5 elements. And it also goes into some things that I'll be sharing in a future episode, the Buddha family and Dakini mandala wisdom, and the mindful model of sexual health, as well as the contemporary research on optimal intimacy. So you can find this on my website at www.healthsosamtherapy.com, and it's under the resources page. And think of this as a companion. It's certainly not homework, but if you'd like more information and some guidance, I'd love for you to find that website, healthsosamtherapy.com. And in future episodes, we'll return to each part of the mandala. So this is, again, a lot to take in. So really, we were going to be revisiting all of these, the structure, the lived experience, and how it might relate in different ways. We'll return all of this again and again. So the center, the inner ring, the outer ring, and we'll explore how they show up in real relationships, real bodies, real lives. So for now, as we close, I want to affirm that you are already whole. Your body is not betraying you. Your inner protectors have valuable information, and you have everything you need, and you are already inside the garden. Thank you for listening to this sacred garden mandala. I'm deeply grateful you spent this time with me. If this episode supported you in any way, I'd love to stay connected. So please follow or subscribe wherever you listen. And if you feel moved to either leave a review or also to share this with anybody else who might be interested in this kind of information or intimacy education without shame or pressure in a kind of a nature-based way. So please, share this episode with a friend who would appreciate this kind of gentle, body-honoring approach. And for companion resources, please visit my website at healthsasamtherapy.com. And if something resonated, let it be one small seed, so nothing to force. And you are whole. Your body has so much wisdom. Your body is not betraying you. And you are already inside this garden. Until next time, be gentle with yourself.